like some apocalypse in your video games? How about wastelands or muscle cars? Well, Mad Max is nearly here. It's coming out September 1st, and it is looking epic. Hey guys, what's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and we're taking an extensive look at all things Mad Max. In this video, you're going to be learning about everything about this game. So, use the video guide in the description below to skip ahead to such things as the open world, what to expect from that, the graphics tech behind the game, and if there's multiplayer, is this a single player only game, the side activities, so use that video guide. But guys, let's get started. Here comes the carnage. So yes, again, this game is hitting store shelves September 1st, 2015. Maybe you are watching this in 2016 by now, who knows? But this game is going to have no multiplayer component at all. It's going to be a single player intensive experience, much like Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor was, and then also the upcoming Just Cause 3. So if you want your single player fix and a game that's going to offer a ton of replayability with its open world, this is definitely something to consider and have it on your radar for sure. And you know, there is going to be more of a story from what I have seen than in Just Cause 3. So if you do want some sort of story, there's good news there. It seems like there is going to be something in there for those of you that want something to follow through your journey around the open world. But guess what? This game is being developed by the same guys that are bringing us Just Cause 3, so the graphics tech is very impressive. The game is going to be running over 30 frames per second on consoles. I think you could get it higher on PC, of course, but it looks gorgeous, even from the live streams that we have seen, which usually the quality suffers on live streams, but it looks really, really good. Now, the open world. This is what you guys are asking about. What is the actual open world like? Is it just mostly desert? Is it just filler space? Well, first of all, the open world is going to be just as big as Just Cause 2's map, which is saying something in of itself. So you go out into this open world, you go to these balloons to reveal the location, a la Far Cry 4 style and Assassin's Creed. So if you climb towers in Far Cry 4, or if you climb peaks in Assassin's Creed, all those games, this will be very familiar to you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer exploring the world and discovering every tidbit on your own organically, or do you prefer the system where you climb up a tower and all is revealed for you? I'm extremely curious about your opinion about that. But this game shares a lot of similarities to Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. You may remember the Nemesis system in that game. Well, it sort of has something similar, not exactly the same. Basically, you will see different regions, and these regions are owned by certain warlords. You will need to go around reducing the influence of a warlord before attacking him. And to do this, you need to go into strongholds and either, assault it, take it down from the inside out, whatever you want to do. You can do it either all-out combat. There is no stealth really in this game. This is not a stealth-intensive game at all. But you can also go into the strongholds and negotiate with the stronghold leader and say, what do you guys need? Let's, do some sort of peace treaty and then do missions for that stronghold, which is really cool. Now, once you gain control of the stronghold, this is where it gets really cool. You can make extra garages for your cars. Yes, I said plural. You can have multiple cars in the game. You can build oil fields to collect fuel because you will need fuel to power your car, of course, and if you have no fuel, your car will just be very sluggish and slow as you go through the open world, so that fuel will be extremely important. I even saw them roaming around the stronghold. You can even assign what is called a scrap crew, so while the game is off, you will always be earning. Always. I mean, you want to be earning while you're sleeping, don't you? So you can get your scrap crew going when you get some shut-eye. But what about the actual activities within the open world? There are things called death runs, and these are going to be your races. There's also camps that you can take over and take on. These are going to be, acting like a guard post out in the world that you need to take down, and again, reduce that warlord's influence throughout the world. My favorite thing is probably going to be collecting those rare vehicles, because there's a ton of vehicles in this game. Then, of course, you got to take on snipers. You can go out and take on convoys, which these convoys will offer very rare loot and items, so that's going to be cool. And then there's minefields that you have to get rid of in the game world, all of which reduce that threat level of the Warlord in that specific region. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Red Dead Redemption because of its random encounters. That's going to be making its way into Mad Max, so you will be roaming throughout the world with a mission in your mind, and some sort of random occurrence will happen within this world. So that's something that I really love about open world games that really offer something random and dynamic like random encounters. Mentioning random encounters, one thing that is completely randoms are the storms. These things make life extremely difficult on you, so you gotta take shelter before they come in, or you can be a total badass and just wing it and go out into the storm. And if you do this, your car will likely take damage, but you can collect rare loot and crates that are whirled up in this whirlwind of chaos and dust. So there is opportunity within these storms. And yes, for those of you wondering, there is a real-time day and night cycle in this game. And the good news is there's actual influence over the gameplay. So expect different types of enemies at nighttime and tougher enemies too. You have been warned. Why, yes, there is an economy. There is fuel, water, and food. You got to manage all of these to survive. And if you run out of fuel, you won't just stop again. You will just go much slower. And you need water to manage your health. So if you like the Batman Arkham franchise, you will be right at home with Mad Max's combat system. It's very much like the Batman Arkham games, and even like Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Remember, WB Games also made Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, so I wouldn't be surprised if some tech was shared between these two companies and developers, which would be pretty cool. But what's cool about combat is you will be able to fill a Fury mode, and this will open up finishing moves. Sounds a bit familiar, sounds a lot like Batman, so you Batman fans will probably love this game. So what's probably the biggest feature about this game, and the feature that I love, is the car combat. They are going all out with their cars. All cars are completely upgradable, and you know, even equipped with a harpoon, which is controlled by your own little raider dude, Chumbucket, who is also your mechanic. He is also upgradable, so your car is upgradable. Max is upgradable. I mean, there's statistics for everything. You can upgrade his clothing, his look. You can customize his appearance. You can even add a beard to him, so you could look like you've been through hell. And people will be like, ugh, what's wrong with you, dude? Are you depressed or something? No, I am a survivor. But, you know, Chumbucket, you could upgrade his repair ability and stuff like that. He wants to build you the ultimate car war machine. That is his goal. So, hopefully you can achieve that later on in the game. So there is no word about how long this game is, but I've heard the developer speak about playing it over 40 hours and still having things to do in this game. I expect this game, just by looking at the map, to be freaking huge. It's probably going to be Just Cause 2 size huge. So if you are a fan of the Just Cause franchise and want something that's probably a little bit more in-depth that Middle-earth offered, I think this game is really for you, of course. And yes, this fall is extremely crowded. You have a lot of decisions on your plate about open world games. That's a good problem to have for sure. Let me know what you guys are going to do. Are you going to pull the trigger on buying Mad Max this year? Remember, September 1st is the date. I'm going to be definitely checking it out. I am such an apocalyptic nut over here. Cannot wait to check out this game. And the car combat looks really, really cool. I love how they focused on this car. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and a share. I would appreciate it greatly. And if you are new, welcome to Open World Games. Join our awesome community of fellow open world gamers. And see you in the apocalyptic wasteland soon enough.